Welcome to the Story as 13 channel. Tonight, you're invited to slow down, take a breath, and step into another quiet corner of the unknown. Our stories are made to help you unwind gently eerie tales meant to soothe your mind while keeping your curiosity just awake enough to listen. Before we begin, what time is it where you are right now, and where are you watching from? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Now, let's begin tonight's story. Quiet, empty street. 10 houses lined up in perfect symmetry. The road is so straight that it looks like it's been drawn with a ruler. Not a single leaf or blade of grass growing out of place. Not a single car driving down the road. Not a soul around. Yet there's one house where every morning a new letter arrives. The houses all look alike. Identical architecture, identical color scheme. You could be forgiven for thinking this was some kind of housing experiment, a social experiment to see if people would move into houses that were exactly the same. Outside, everything is neat and tidy. No clutter anywhere. It's almost too perfect, like a showroom. At work, he hands it over to his boss. He hears a knock at the door. He goes to answer. Standing on his doorstep is a woman holding a small bouquet of flowers. He shrugs, puts the letter down, returns to his TV. Later that night, another letter arrives. The man opens the door, and there's a young girl standing there, whisk in her hand, a teddy bear and a small letter. She hands it to him and runs off. She looks beautiful in a flowing purple dress. And she's holding out a letter. It's a little bigger than a normal letter. She hands it to the man and says, "Sorry to bother you, but this came for you." The boss reads it and files it away. Nothing unusual there. Happens every day. He closes the door. The man closes the door. Cool, looks at the letter, addressed to him, opens it. Nothing inside. His boss calls someone later that night. The road is a metaphor for the man's life. He's too comfortable in his little box, his safe and predictable life. Perfectly straight, perfectly symmetrical. There's no room for anything unusual. And yet, the letters represent the chaos of life, the unexpected curveballs that come our way. The next day, he brings the letter to work. Again, his boss reads it, calls someone later that night. The man is visited by a young girl, looks at the letter, addressed to him, opens it. There's nothing inside. His boss calls someone later that night. The next day, he brings the letter to work. Again, his boss reads it, calls someone later that night. The man is visited by a priest. The boss walks over to the window. His face hardens. He pulls out a phone and makes a call. It's addressed to him. He opens it. Nothing inside. Nothing inside. He takes it, reads it, looks up at the man and says, "You know what to do," which means the man knows what to do. Later that night, the man and the girl stand on his doorstep. He knocks. A man opens the door and ushers them both inside. His boss calls someone later that night. The girl sits down on the couch and looks around nervously. The man looks at the letter in his hands. "Who is this from?" he asks. "I don't know," the man replies. "They never tell me who they are, only that I need to deliver the letter. And if I don't," the girl asks, "what will happen to me?" The man looks at her. "Don't worry, nothing will happen to you," he says. "But you must do this every day. Never miss a day." The girl nods obediently. The next day, he brings the girl with him to work. We can see that the other mail in the box is identical, all addressed to the man. The episode ends with the man looking at the empty road. His boss calls someone later that night. The next day, he brings a letter to work. Again, his boss reads it, calls someone later that night. The man is visited by a woman dressed like a doctor. We pan to the kitchen table where we can see a letter dated the day before, sitting right in the center. Nothing inside. He goes to work the next day, gives the letter to his boss. And even though the man knows it's not just a job, we also know that there's something deeper going on here. Something the man doesn't want to admit to himself. Something he's trying to deny. Later that night, a woman dressed like a police officer stands on his doorstep. We see that his boss has a thick folder with many letters in it. Boss calls someone. Later that night, the man is visited by a man dressed in a suit. She hands him a letter. The man closes the door. He looks at the letter. It's addressed to him. He opens it. Nothing inside. Again, his boss calls someone later that night. Another letter arrives, and this time it's a boy. He sits down next to it, picks it up, reads it. Like the noise of your own breathing is amplified by the lack of ambient sound. It's like you're standing in a padded cell with white walls. Even the mailboxes are the same. All of them except for the fourth from the end on the right side of the road going uphill. That mailbox has a single red arrow pointing downwards. The rest have no arrow. It's their numbers. 1, 2, 3. Then a blank space where the fourth should be. Okay? And then resuming again with the number 5. But no, that isn't the case. There's no records of any such experiment ever taking place here. The first thing you notice when you arrive at the empty street is the complete silence. And yet, every morning, without fail, a letter arrives in that mailbox. We do not know how long it's been going on for, because the series has unstarted yet. He doesn't talk much. Not that anyone would hear him if he did. It's a quiet neighborhood. People mind their own business. They keep to themselves. When we do first meet our protagonist, he's walking home from the grocery store, whistling a merry tune, completely absorbed in his own world. He doesn't notice the black van tailing him. He doesn't notice the 2 men inside. All he sees is a nice-looking loaf of bread and the prospect of dinner. He's got a good life. Quiet, simple. He works in an office, comes home, watches TV, eats dinner, sleeps, repeats. The man opens the door to his house. We don't know what the letter said, but the next morning when he leaves for work, he brings the letter with him. Later that night, the man is home alone watching TV. He takes the letter and closes the door. We see that the letter is addressed to him. He opens it. There's nothing inside. The next day, he brings the letter to work. Again, hands it to his boss. The boss reads it, calls someone. The man looks at the letter. It's addressed to him. He opens it. Same spiel, same letter. Gives it to his boss. Boss calls someone. His boss calls someone later that night. The next day, he brings the letter to work. Again, his boss reads it. He hands the man a letter. The man closes the door. He looks at the letter. She hands him a letter. He hands the man a letter. Same as before. She hands him a letter and runs off. He looks at it. It's addressed to him. He opens it. Okay? His boss, upon seeing the girl, immediately asks for the letter. The man sits down in a chair. The man stands up and approaches the mailbox outside. He opens it and drops the letter inside. As we fade to black, we hear him say, "It's just a job. Nothing more, nothing less." Even though we know it's not just a job, he's afraid to acknowledge it, even though he longs for it deep down. The fact that each letter is delivered by a different person, some important, some not, some happy, some sad, suggests that life is full of opportunities for connection and growth. But the man is too afraid to take them. The question is, why? Why is he so afraid? What is he running from? Okay? What does the letter actually say?